So, how you been?
Doing okay. Can't complain.
Same. Doing pretty good.
There's a guest here, so Alex is not being herself today.
Well, I could.
I was waiting for her to be like, "What's up, bitch?" Just
No, not yet. Not yet.
You gotta
yes,
build up to it, Bill. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
especially with what we're covering today. Oh
Yes.
boy.
Yeah, no kidding.
This has been like one of the most weakest weeks that ever weeked.
Yeah.
I have like not been able to get any sleep this week for whatever reason. I have no idea.
Well, that's been kind of me lately in general because, well, lately I've been going into work like very early. Like I'm clocking into work like 2.5 hours before I'm actually supposed to be there. So, and then I'm also in charge of getting our daughter to sleep at night, which is usually a process.
Yep.
So like I'm averaging out most nights like 5 hours if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it's been they return.
The hiccup count.
I haven't been hiccuping as much recently.
I know. I've noticed that. Like I've been listening to I listen to GNC like pretty much every week, and it's just like I had like a random realization a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I haven't heard Alex hiccup very much lately. What's
I
going on
know.
with that?
I don't know. I just haven't need to hiccup as much. I don't
mean,
know.
In the bubbly or
Well, you can ask me what I'm drinking.
Not yet.
Bill?
We're not at that segment yet.
We could be. Bill? Bill?
Not yet. Yeah, we've kind of had a bit of a renaissance this season of GNC so far. Like we've been a lot of like old school like stuff has come back. Like we had the return of Unhinged Alex a couple weeks ago.
What do you mean?
The Sims 2 episode, Alex. Like that was like perfect unhinged like GNC.
How is that unhinged? What do you mean?
The fucking our Sims were both sex addicts.
Yeah. Mine just kept cheating on her husband.
Well, no, mine was the sex addict. Yours was the town slut.
Yeah.
It
You
was
just kept cheating on everyone.
No, we were talking about this on 3DO. We determined that your husband in the game is just a cuck, and he just sits there and watches.
Please tell me you arranged the chair correctly for that.
You can't angle them in Sims 2, so it doesn't work right. You can in Sims 3.
Zero out of 10. Bad game.
Oh no, it's great. It's great. My Sim has like 7 kids now because he won't fucking stop. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's been one of those weeks though. Like I have not had time to really do anything. Like my only free day this week was Monday, but I was reading manga for a reason that we'll get to at some point.
Yeah, not in this episode. Later.
No, not in this show. In a completely different show.
This is GNC. Don't you forget. No, just kidding.
No, I my free day is going to be tomorrow. Although I do have to haul wood, which is always fun. Actually, I was hauling wood like shortly before I came over to do this.
Is it gonna snow?
Actually, yeah, it's gonna snow tomorrow night.
Same.
And that's part of the reason because we had a cord of wood dropped off at our house a couple days ago, and we got to get it in the woodshed before the snow comes.
Yep.
So I was kind of struggling though. My hands were like freezing, like because I don't know what the hell where my uncle bought this particular load of wood, but there's like snow and ice crusted all over the sides of every piece of wood. Yeah, it's irritating. And then I had my stepson helping me, and then his dad showed up to pick him up like 20 minutes in. I'm like, great, now I got to do this by myself.
You needed to reel the step.
And I bet he was literally like, see you, Matt, and just immediately left.
Pretty much, he was like, well, about time I hit the old dusty trail.
Aw, you should have reeled them both in. Got them to everyone help.
We had one day this week where it like iced over, and Alex didn't know because she hasn't gone anywhere this week. But
no, I've been trying to save money by not doing anything.
Yeah, I took a step outside of the house. So it like sort of snowed the night before, but then it like turned to rain, and it like froze in the morning. So I went out to go start my car, stepped on the pavement because they didn't salt the night before. Fucking almost ate it on the fucking driveway. I was like, well, this is my
Oh.
morning so far.
Yeah,
Well, that was
my entire yard is just completely iced over because we tried to get salt for before like we knew we were going to be getting a lot of snow and ice, and literally everywhere was sold out.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
That was like when we went on our Costco run. We talked about our Costco run. Going on the day before Super Bowl Sunday is a terrible idea. But as I was bringing all my groceries back from Costco, Bill parked so close to the grass that I had to walk on the grass, but it was all snow and ice, so I just kept slipping and almost falling every time.
jeez.
Yeah.
And Bill laughed.
I need some.
As you will. As you
I
will.
need some sort of enjoyment.
It was oh, Matt, I have an announcement.
How's it going?
I have finished Dragon Ball Z.
Ooh, you fucking flew through that.
I've had a lot of time on my
Yeah,
hands.
she hasn't really
That's
done
fair.
much this week. So
Yes.
That's fair. So, opinions?
My favorite arc was the Boo arc, like the last.
I had a feeling.
After the time, like when the time skip happened, that's when I really started enjoying it. But I did understand that Toriyama had some kinks, and he displayed it in the anime. He has a really big thing for the inflation kink. Just saying, it happened in multiple incidences.
Inflation
Toriyama,
kink?
you don't know about that? Oh no, I don't know about that. Matt. This is like the good old days of DeviantArt when you go and you just see a character who's just like this big.
This is coming from the One Piece fan?
believe it or not, the majority of people that were into this kink were the Sonic fan base. Ugh.
No, exactly. That's what
There's
because of Sonic.
a lot of crossover between DBZ and Sonic, though. So you can't.
No, that's like a legitimate thing. And I was just like, there's a lot of this happening.
Obviously, we'll get fully into it when we do the DBZ episode. Well, yeah, the Dragon Ball Z episode going some point this year.
Also, the ending was confusing because is it canon or not? I asked Bill and he said he's unsure.
I mean, technically, if you want to get like real, like down to the nitty gritty of it, the original 42 volumes of the manga, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, like that is canon. Everything else is just extra.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you can make arguments like, yeah, Toriyama did a lot of work on Super and the movies, and Daima especially, he was very involved with, which, I really wish you guys were watching the Japanese because I have things to say about the most recent episode.
Well, when we get there in like 2 months, we'll be able to talk about it.
I'm watching Super now because now the whole time I was watching Dragon Ball Z, I just said, I don't want to watch Super. Like, I just want to power through it so I can watch Super.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. That last anime swap episode, I was kind of like gritting my teeth. Like, how dare you? How dare you say these things?
about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No,
to be fair,
I appreciated. So I really like the Boo arc. Like I like the last part. Like that was really great. Just sometimes it was a little. I felt like it was a little slow and not as funny.
I mean, the tone shift for Z was definitely leaning more like action sci-fi.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I did before you even started it. I said, "Watch Kai." And you said, no, I'm going to watch the original.
No. We all said no. She has to watch the full because she has to experience it.
I had to watch the original.
Well, yeah, you had to experience it the right way.
Kai is the more streamlined, faster paced, like cut down version.
That's when you get the itch to rewatch it. You watch Kai. You have to for that first watch. You got to watch the full thing because you got to understand.
I mean, that's fair. Although I have to imagine you were pretty confused at Garlic Jr.
Oh, she fell asleep through that arc twice.
I fell asleep, and when I woke up, the arc was ending, and I said, I don't think I need to go back. I technically skipped a couple, but...
You know what's funny, too, is I texted Bill, like, I don't know, it was like a week ago, week and a half, something like that, and I was like, oh, shit. We should probably let Alex know that she needs to watch the first DBZ movie for that arc to make sense. And you're like, yeah, she already watched it.
Yeah, I was like, she's already beyond that.
All right, never mind.
See,
Alright,
my favorite part of the experience was every like couple of like every day I'd get like random updates, and like her questions were always hilarious to me because my favorites were like, I'm like, Alex, you've seen Super, you know what happens.
yeah.
But I still needed to know. Still,
I mean, there is context.
yeah.
I
My
mean,
favorite
I mean, think back to when we started watching Dragon Ball Z, and like at the very beginning, where Krillin's like, "All right, Goku, I'm gonna go help you fight Raditz," and blah blah blah, and he's like, "No, Krillin, you've already died once. You can't do it again." And everyone's sitting there scratching their heads, like, "Who is this bald
What?
guy with no nose, and when did he die?"
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I had to. My favorite too was like Alex is like, "How is everyone like?" She's like, "Vegeta's dead." I'm like, "Yeah, but death means nothing in Dragon Ball."
Well, and that's I feel like now I realized in Super, like I feel like people didn't die as much.
Well, no, because
No,
they realize
Yeah.
death is pointless in this
Yeah.
series because they can just
yeah,
Toriyama can just well at the time Toriyama could just pull some new Dragon Balls out of his ass and be like, "Goku hasn't used these ones to come back to life yet."
yeah, for real.
Uh,
But yeah, I will say, like, obviously, I'm sure you're DBZ'd out for the time.
Well, I'm
But
watching Super, so
true, but I will say that you should watch the Bardock special and the Trunks special
okay.
because those are very good, and they're short. They're only like 45 minutes each.
All right. I'll
you
add
can,
them to the
you make.
where can I watch them?
I'm pretty sure they're in the movie folder on Crunchyroll.
Maybe I'm not 100% sure. Do you have it, Bill?
Maybe I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure I do somewhere.
All right.
All right. So
I'll
now that we've had Alex's update, Bill, hi,
Attack on
how
what
you
now?
doing?
Well,
How you doing?
we I went over it at the end of the last week's episode, but I'm at the end of season 2. I have not had time to watch it all this week. I'm gonna get back into it this weekend when I'm not watching Cars Go Fast.
That's fair. Yeah, that season just started.
Well, I mean, this is the first race of the season. That's the like legit one of the only two races of the year I must watch. But
Mhm.
I'm up to season 2. I finished season 2, starting season 3 probably tomorrow. I went over it so far. I'm curious, interested. I'm siding with the Titans more often than I'm siding with the humans on most things. And I was joking. I joked with Alex saying, like, is it bad that like whenever a character dies, my general response is usually, just move on.
I mean, to be fair, most of the people who die in the first season are like, well, except for Levi's crew, because you
Oh,
actually get some time with
no,
them.
no. Levi's crew, I was so like I did not care. Like
Didn't care at all.
when the girl was face planted into the tree and they cut to that image of her face just like cracked up, I laughed. I was like, eh. And then when Levi throws her out of the truck and she just rolls away, I'm like, well, that wasn't important. Yeah, I literally pointed out that there's only like it took me until like the end of season 2 for a death to actually make me feel something, and that was the old guard with the mustache, the blonde guard at the beginning of the series with
Oh
the mustache.
yeah,
That was
Yeah.
like the
Drunk
first
guy.
death that actually like I felt sad when he died. I was like, no, that guy was cool.
No, he had a character arc. He can't
Yeah,
go.
No,
well,
growth.
he stuck around long enough, and we had enough appearances with him that I was like, I actually like this character. I actually care about. It'd be like if well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know yet, but there is a few characters that if they die, I might be upset because I really have not got attached to most of the characters in the series.
Well, who are your
There's
favorite characters so far?
the ones that I care about are obviously Aaron, Misaka, the blonde boy. I can't remember his name.
Armin?
Armin,
Yeah, him.
How could you forget Armin?
he's the best boy.
Because I can't remember names for shows I haven't watched up all of yet. A Potato Girl and
Of
Levi.
course.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah, because she had disappeared for a while, and I wasn't sure if she died or not. And then she popped up in like one scene. I was like, oh, she lived. Cool.
Yeah, with a bow and arrow of all things.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, okay,
And,
cool.
was how do you feel about Hanji?
Which one's he?
She's the one with
She.
the glasses
Yeah,
that's
the
obsessed with
science.
dissecting titans.
Oh, yeah, she's okay. She was cool. I like
yeah.
how psychotically unhinged she is.
So obviously, like, we won't go into like super details, but how did you feel about that super casual reveal at the middle of season 2?
Which one? The fact that
The one that's so casual you wouldn't have even noticed it if they didn't focus on it afterwards.
the one that the Colossal Titan was the guy in the group the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of like, well, once we found out that like Titans were within the group, like my favorite moment was when they were about to reveal who the female Titan was, and I was like sitting here trying to figure out who it was, and then I was like, Alex, is it the blonde bitch? And she's like, no. I was
No,
like, you lie.
I just said I didn't even say no. I went no.
Yeah, you're just
I
like,
give
no.
you a very stern no. I'm
Yeah, and
not
then I
gonna
was
spoil anything for you.
it was so yeah, but the worst part is after that reveal, I was like, it was so obvious. Like it just hit me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think we all were. Like after I was just like, damn it, like they look the same. Like
Yeah, but at that point, like they had kind of like she had gone off and joined the military police, so like
yeah.
she hadn't been around for a little bit, so it was easy to forget about her. And then like randomly it shoots to her like doing military police shit, and you're like, oh fuck.
well, the
Like
thing
now
that
I get it.
the flashback I had was early in the series when Aaron's training and the guy who he's training with the guy that is revealed to be the armored titan, and he specifically highlights her, and then they both kind of have this moment. It made me realize I'm like, oh, they knew. They knew the whole fucking time. Because
See, I'm just like, you need to just keep watching because like
I know I'm sure more fucking shit's gonna happen. I'm at the point now where
Season 3, it gets so wild in season 3.
see, that's what I was trying to tell him. Like, you gotta follow through. Keep watching season 3. Cause well, it's like there's that I always see like this meme where it's like, I know what's happening in season 1. And then season 2 is like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. And the rest is just
Yep.
I don't know. And that's really how it goes. So
The show
whatever
keep-
you
it keeps
think is
you on your toes.
happening. Yeah.
see, I knew, so going into it, I knew, spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen Attack on Titan. I knew Aaron becomes a Titan at one, like just because that's like one of those biggest spoilers that
Images
just
everywhere. Yeah.
oh yeah, you can't it's on the fucking cover of season 4, the box set. It's
Yeah.
you can't hide from it. I didn't realize it happens that fucking early. Like I was like, oh, all right.
Well, see, I didn't know that when I first started because I mean when I watched it, the only season 1 was out. Like season 2 was on the
Same.
horizon, but like you get to episode 5 and he gets fucking eaten and his fucking arm just comes out and smacks Armin in the face, and you're like, what is going on? Like,
You're like, all right, I guess the main character is dead now. Like,
I'm gonna be like, well, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, so the main character dying isn't that new of a concept to me, but
will he come back? No.
Yeah.
they always come back.
Not
But,
an Attack on Titan.
No, not an Attack on Titan, but still.
But I will say it's going. I'm gonna try and wrap it up either this weekend or next weekend, and then we'll.
Was that your friend?
No, that was our third co-host on Geek Addicts, the car
Mr.
from Matt's window. No, but once I finish Attack on Titan, there'll be an episode. We're gonna have to get the roundtable back together, at least
Yeah.
Slade and Jared.
And you need to
For
call it
sure.
Attack on what now?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so that's the update there. Other than that, I'm still watching my ongoings. Like I'm watching My Happy Marriage every week,
Nice.
Apothecary Diaries season 2, Daima, Solo Leveling, except they fucking delayed this week. I'm fucking pissed.
I caved. I started watching all the ongoings. I'm caught up on. I'm one episode behind on Dr. Stone. I'm caught up on Solo Leveling. I'm caught up on Apothecary Diaries. I'm caught up on Kenshin.
I'm holding out on Solo Leveling. I need to watch it all at once because I know what's happening. So like I just need to because I've read the manga.
The last goddamn dub episode ends on such a fucking cliffhanger, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, no episode this week because of delay. There'll be 2 next week." I'm like, "You fuckers."
But at least
Yeah,
you
at
get
least a double down. That's not bad.
So they say until they
until
delay it
it's
again.
just one next week.
Yeah.
I hope it's double down because I like calculate. I'm like, okay, how many more episodes are left? So I don't want to add an extra week to that. I think it's like 7. I think it would be like 7 weeks. So I don't want it to be 8 again.
So it's just gonna be a 12er again.
Yes.
Maybe 13. I think I saw 13 on my any
Oh,
list.
really? Oh, maybe. All right, then I might have to add another. But my plan is that I'm gonna watch Super, and then I'm gonna watch the Super the movies. So I'll watch the ones that you suggested, but then I want to watch Superhero because love that title and ball my ass. And then I'm gonna and then I still need to finish. I finally finished Dawn to Dawn not that long ago, and it was very underwhelming.
Yeah, that ending really annoyed me.
Oh,
Well,
The
because
ending
it
of
just
that season.
I
I
feel
forgot
like
I never said I finished Attack on Titan season 2 on my annie list. Whoops.
The Slade's just been sitting there with the screen like this.
like
It's like, come
Well,
on.
no, he didn't question the fact that I said I was going to start watching season 3, but never finished season 2. Wait a minute.
whoops.
Oops. Yeah.
I still need to finish because I never finished Blue Lock. So I need to finish that, the season 2 of that, and then I also need to finish Tower of God season 2 part 2. I need to finish that too. So I have a couple that I need to finish before I can start watching the new ones, and hopefully it'll time up where it'll be done and I can just watch them all as once. And then probably
Apothecary is
watch them
going to be a
again.
while because that's 24 again.
Yeah,
so.
the Apothecary Diaries, I know that one's gonna be a while, but
I'm surprised with how much I like that show.
It's good.
it's
really
really
is.
fun. I love the
Um,
mystery. I feel like there hasn't been like a good like mystery show in a while. Like where you're like solving like puzzles and stuff and like that.
Well,
I
ever
just
since
really enjoyed it.
Well, ever since Attack on Titan ended, I mean, that was the biggest mystery show for a
Yeah.
while. But it was a different kind of mystery. It's not the same
Yeah.
kind of. So out of curiosity, I know we're 20 minutes in and we haven't even talked about what we haven't
That's
even
just how
mentioned what our
GNC
topic is.
goes.
Have you ever actually watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, you have the context now, so you're gonna have to do that in your downtime at some point because
Okay.
it's worth it.
I'll add it to. Is it like on YouTube?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
T4 Star.
Okay.
My
I'll
favorite.
add-
My favorite quote from that from that abridged is still like after the joke about Chi-Chi and Goku. It's like Bulma sees Goku and he's like, Chi-Chi's pregnant. It's just like, what?
Bulma, sex-based babies.
Yeah.
She's holding baby Trunks. She's like, I'm aware.
Oh, man.
One of my favorite like dumb jokes in that was just like, I don't know, Chi-Chi was just like digging through like underneath the sink for something, and just like literally randomly a box just flies off and hits her head. She's just damn ghosts.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
But speaking of ghosts.
No. What are you drinking, Bill?
Fuck.
You made me wait.
I knew that was coming.
You made me wait. I had a segue and you cut me off. You're not gonna. Yeah.
I'm drinking a ginger ale.
Will you give us a fact?
Canada Dry.
It's caffeine free.
Calories? Fluid ounces?
No. You got something.
All right. What would you rate it on a scale of 22 hippopotamuses eating watermelons? What would you rate it?
One rabbit saying, touch me.
Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm gonna
Whatever.
take this.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Matt, are you drinking anything today?
Drinking Mountain Dew. Because
Wanna
I'm a
get-
degenerate. It's made with 100% recycled plastic.
The drink is?
Yeah,
Probably.
The bottle is actually cardboard.
You're drinking Mountain Dew is just full of microplastics.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's actually 75% fiberglass. So there we go.
All right. And what would
Um,
you rate it on a scale of 99?
Red balloons.
Wait, no. Yes,
99,
sure.
99 love balloons.
Yes. What would you rate it?
I'd rate it a 98. It gets a point off because it got me addicted.
Oh. Well, it happens. Bill, aren't you going to ask me?
What are you drinking, Alex?
I am drinking.
Is it a liquid death?
No, it is a Izzy sparkling apple flavored juice beverage blend
That's
from
too many words for
concentrate
what that
with
is.
other natural flavors. It's 8.4 fluid ounces, 248 milliliters,
That's not enough
70
fluid ounces.
calories. Huh?
That's not enough fluid ounces.
Well, they're tiny cans, but it's okay. They're a little fizzy. All the stuff I said the last time, because I'm drinking the same thing, a different flavor, is the same. But what's a new fact that I can find? No added sugar and no artificial flavors.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
All right, give me a scale.
What would you rate
Turn
it?
the music back on. We're not done with the segment. All right. Give me a rating scale.
What would you rate it between?
1 in 20 racist jokes.
Well, if 20 is good, I'd give it an 18.
I don't think 20 is good in that context.
All right, well then, then 2. Then a 2.
I mean, I guess it depends on the joke, but yeah.
No racist jokes, please.
That being said, let's get on to our topic for this episode. We are talking about the infamous or famous, depending on how you feel about it, Ghost Stories dub. And the reason why we specify dub is because, let's face it, the Ghost Stories anime itself is boring as fuck. Like, when you take the dub out of it. Does anyone watch this show subbed? I'd like to know if that's a real question, because
I have not.
So, where do we begin with Ghost Stories?
I don't even know if there's like a good place. I think this might have to be a topic where we just riff.
Well,
Where we just
I
go
will say I'll give a little bit of the backstory behind how this dub
backstory
came
behind
to
the
be.
dub, yes.
So Ghost Stories, obviously, it's a pretty old anime at this point. It definitely looks old, just like
Mhm.
glancing at it these days. It was originally obviously released in Japan, and the series is based off of a manga, like you'd expect. It originally debuted in 2000, and obviously the dub did not come out till like the mid 2000s. You can tell by the jokes they make because it's very obvious when this dub was made.
Yeah.
And famously, the show kind of bombed. Not really bombed, but it was not massively successful in Japan. It's a common misconception that the show was completely unsuccessful in Japan. It made money, but it was pretty by the numbers, like lackluster. When they shipped it off to America and it was picked up by ADV Films, the wonderful group at ADV, you'll know them nowadays as Sentai Filmworks. They own High Dive. ADV was usually they were like the antithesis to like Funimation, Crunchyroll, where they kind of did the weirder stuff that Crunchyroll, like Funimation, wouldn't normally pick up. But they were both based in Texas, so they were both kind of rivals. When Ghost Stories made it over here, basically they were so desperate to get it to be successful that they basically told ADV, try to follow the story, but otherwise we don't give a shit what you do. just make it work. And ADV basically said okay, and said fuck it, and just basically after 2 episodes they just straight up ad-libbed the entire show.
Pretty much.
So
well, I was reading too that apparently the script, like whoever came to record their lines first, set the tone of the riffing, and everyone else's were just built off based on whatever anyone else said.
Well, it's really funny because like you watch the first 2 episodes and it's definitely unhinged, but it's not quite what it will become. They're still kind of following the story. But once you get to like episode 4, it's like, oh god, they just like they've completely lost the script here.
Yeah. It's like bad lip reading the anime.
The thing about it is you think it's a fan dub, but it's not.
People were paid to do this.
Oh, so what's fun is I discovered doing some deep diving that there is a second dub of Ghost Stories. The Animax dub, I believe it is. It is considered lost media because there's no official home release of this show. There is 5 episodes you can find online. They are I watched one of them. it's the show's. It basically proved my point that the show is boring without this dub because it is a true to text dub,
Yeah.
and it's not good because it's like you realize Ghost Stories really isn't that good of a story otherwise. Yeah, that dub is apparently it was fully dubbed, but you can only find the first 5 episodes. Like I think the rest of it is legit lost media.
Well, who needs it? Because you have the ADV dub, which is just
Yeah.
great.
It's just to me, it's really funny that there was another dub that existed that actually tried to be like an official dub, and no one cares because legit the only reason anyone cares about this show is because of this unhinged masterpiece, as I would call it.
For real.
So that being said, where do we begin?
So Alex watched it for the first time last year, correct?
Yes.
And Bill, you just finished it.
Yep, I just watched it.
So we're all relatively new on this.
Yes.
I knew it existed. I just never had the
I'd always
interest in watching
heard of
it.
it, but yeah, it was that same thing of like it had always been in the back of my mind, and I was like, I'll watch it some days, but there was no like motivation to actually go and watch it.
You know what's actually kind of funny is I've had the DVDs for this show for like years.
Oh, really?
But a friend of mine whose tastes are questionable with the kinds of
Recommended it
shows
to
he
you.
likes to watch is the one who gave it to me, so I never watched it until I
Ah.
started hearing about it.
So I will
Understandable.
say, before we get into the deep stuff, I would like to highlight the voice acting talent because there is some iconic voices in this.
Yep.
The main character Setsuki is voiced by Hilary Hagg, a very well-known voice actress from the ADV days. Momoko is voiced by Monica Rai, more well-known as Bulma these days. And Hajime is voiced by Chris Patton, who has been in a lot of stuff. And then there's others like Greg Ayres was in this, Christine Auden.
Well, I think you should kind of go back and then kind of bring up how the characterization of the original character versus the ADV characterization for some of them, because some of them are hilarious.
You want to go into that, Alex?
Well, like Momoko, like in the regular one, she's like Satsuki's best friend. And then in the ADV dub, she's a born again evangelical Christian.
She's an ultra right leaning conservative evangelical Christian. Like what?
And everything that she taught, every line she says has some relation to Christianity in it. Like there's not a single line where she doesn't bring up Jesus or something.
My favorite ones though is when she's just like, it's like when she goes to start doing something like that, but then she realizes halfway through that it's not applicable at all, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever."
No, my favorite is like when she shows up sometimes and she just goes, "Hello, sinner."
And then like there's a Leo, Keki, I'm not gonna pronounce it, but like he's basically they made him like a stereotypical like the most terribly racist Jewish jokes of all time were just centered around his character. And then I think like the youngest brother, which we should talk about.
We should also do our disclaimer going forward too. This dub is incredibly offensive.
Yes.
Like incredibly offensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even for then it was pretty offensive, but now it's incredibly offensive.
Yeah, because the little brother, they basically say that he is mentally challenged, and they're just constantly, and they do the hard R word.
Yeah, the R. No, not the hard R. That's a different context.
Oh, sorry.
They use the R slur. They don't drop any. They don't drop the hard R. Believe me, they do not. They're not. They don't go that far.
Surprisingly, they toe the line a lot.
Honestly, I'm surprised. I bet there's some outtakes that we never saw that have some really bad.
To be fair, though, that word has always been bad. Like you don't say that and stuff. So
sorry, I was praying for it.
No, it's all good. But this aired on TV too, by the way. This aired on TV.
Yeah, like, and that's what's crazy. I think too, like one of the funniest ones is like the mom who like had passed away at some point. But like they just keep putting in these tones of like she didn't like her husband and
Oh,
she
yeah,
might
they're
have
like,
been a
that she
lesbian.
came
the
from a
whole time.
lesbian colony. It's like, what?
Yep.
Like, so like they're just like bizarre. So
They even go with like a stereotypical like lesbian dyke voice. Like,
Who is that? I know who that is. I believe it is. I think it's actually one moment here.
it's Marcy Banner.
Yes, you would be right. Yeah, yep. What else has she done? I need to know now.
But now Bill needs to know.
She plays old ladies in a lot of things.
But I guess like you can talk about like the script was basically full of like pop culture references. Like there was a lot of them that happened around the time, like a lot of George Bush jokes.
this dub
Hurricane
is very
Katrina.
Yeah.
This dub is very much 2005 because
Yes.
they explicitly reference George Bush's second term, Hurricane Katrina, and a lot of other things from around that era.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
also a lot of like fourth wall breaking jokes, like where they actually actively make fun of the animation quality in the episodes.
And they
Or
throw
just-
pot shots at Funimation multiple times.
Or just like
Yeah.
making fun of the like anime cliches in it as well.
Or like one of
Yes.
them would just be like, "Hey, what are you doing here? What the hell's happening with my leg?"
I saw that scene.
I love the final episode where it's supposed to be this heartwarming send off, and it's just the cat basically being like, "Oh yeah, it's a final episode. What did you expect? Where's my Emmy for my performance?"
Cat was the best character. Does he have a bio in here? Is he Yes, he
Oh yeah,
does.
Amana Jaku or whatever.
I don't even know their names. Like I just know them for their stereotypes. Yeah, he was the cat that just like shits on the kids all the time,
Yeah, he's just an asshole.
and not like
the-
Robert Pattinson.
yeah.
No. God. Just can't let that go, can you?
I never will.
Uh,
Oh jeez. So like
I
the first moment when I first started watching this with my wife, like the moment where I realized like, oh, this is gonna be good, was just, and it was a super like, it wasn't even like a crazy joke or anything, but it was literally just them riding in the car on the way to the new house. And like the girl, she got her head out the window and she's like looking at something, and the dad's just like, pull your head in, you're gonna get your head chopped off. It's just like, and I died laughing at this because like that's the kind of shit we say to our kids.
Yeah. See, the thing that the first line that really got me was like when they were first getting into the house and they were talking to the older gentleman, and he's like, "This bitch kicks, I'm moving to Vegas." Like when I heard that, my ears immediately went, "What?" And I had to go backwards. I was like, I rewound it. I'm like, did I just? And then I heard it again. I'm like, oh, okay, this is where we're. Okay, this is
What
it.
this?
I was like, I have to pay attention to every line because they might drop a zinger.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh geez, yeah, it's so unhinged. Like they turn the little brother like he starts out kind of normal, and then he just
And they
progresses.
just.
Most of his lines are just gibberish. Like they don't even give him like lines.
All
He's
right,
just like,
Bill. Do your best impression,
no, I'm not even going to attempt that.
Matt.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's basically all of his lines. They're just like him going, "Ah!" Like just
And-
screaming and crying.
And then they constantly, whenever they reference him to like, they're always like, Setsuki, I'm busy dealing with your R-word brother over here. It's just like, Jesus, like, my God.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh,
So what does anyone have like a favorite episode? Like which one's like your favorite one that you watched?
I mean,
I really like the
rabbit
rabbit
is-
one is good. The rabbit one was
one's
a
my
turning
favorite.
point, I think, in the series, because the rabbit one, like I noticed because I was rewatching it this week,
Yeah.
and from the rabbit episode onward, that was when they really started going completely unhinged. Like that was the point where
I
they
said
were like,
jump!
we're gonna push this as far as we can possibly go until somebody pushes back, and then just nobody ever.
And no one ever pushed back. Like,
When she's like doing the memories, she's like, "Oh, I remember his voice. Touch me.
touch me.
I remember his commands."
Touch me
Touch me
harder.
Or like I think like when I love to soft laugh and it's just oh.
But like the greatest is like jump. I said jump. Like just like the way that the voice. Who is the
That's my
voice
favorite
actress for
episode.
her?
I don't know.
Who
She
is her?
sounded super familiar when I
She's
was watching that episode.
She's a pretty recurring ADV voice actress, I believe. But
I
she
feel
played
like if you typed like Rabbit Girl from Ghost Stories, it would pop up jump actress.
I'm sure.
just type in I said jump and it will probably come up.
Oh,
What was her name?
well, Matt, you had a different favorite episode. Which one was your favorite?
I'm kind of caught between the one with the tunnel ghost
Yep.
and because it's just the whole thing with like the ghost dad. It's just like, oh, that's Cinnamon. What a kidder. And I like that one, and I like the painting one.
Where they go into the painting, right? Is
Yeah,
that the one? Yep.
that one was really funny. And then
I like
I don't remember which episode it was, but whatever one it was where they got the ghost letter from their mom. And she's like telling, like, doing the whole like letter thing where the voiceover, but she's all fucked up on morphine.
Yep. I love the toilet episode early on too, where like the toilets are all like broken in the school, so they have to go over to the haunted school that they always seem to go to, and they all start getting sucked into the toilets. I was like, Jesus.
At the end, the teacher just crawls out like, "What the hell?"
And he's like, "What are you kids doing here?" And it's like,
or there's that episode too where it's like the teachers are. It's like the jokes about them trying to sneak away to go bang or something.
Oh yeah, they're like,
There's
excuse
that
me.
one.
She's like, "Will you annoying little girl go away? I want to go upstairs to get railed by this teacher here."
Or like in the rabbit episode, I think when what's the guy's name again?
Uh,
It doesn't matter. The boy,
whatever,
the main boy.
the boy that isn't Leo.
Yeah.
When he just like walks up like while they're doing the rabbit thing, and he's just like, "Oh, well, I was just on my way from hanging out with BJ Bridget and to get my Wednesday usual."
keep in mind, these are like elementary, like fifth graders. Like these are children.
It's like, what else?
Ridiculous.
I feel like one of my favorite lines too is like the police station.
Drop the Krispy Kreme server. Go. We need help.
And then like, but the best part is after that scene, like where they end up just going like, "But," like instead of just mocking the translation and not saying anything at all.
It was like one point. I don't even remember what episode it was. But there's one point where the girl was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna do this thing. This is the fastest lip read I've ever had to match."
I think that was it. I think that might have been it. Oh.
Some of these lines are like ridiculous. I remember like there's the one ghost, the running episode with the gym, and like they're constantly like, "Nice ass."
Yeah.
Did
you ever find out who that was?
I
The
can't.
girl.
You can't find Bunny Girl?
What's her name in the anime? I can't remember which character it is.
I don't even remember the main characters' names.
Is it Hanako?
Maybe.
No, that's a bathroom ghost. That's
Oh,
just
right.
an anime thing.
Is she even listed here? This is the real question. God damn it! Who is the rabbit girl?
Tell me.
Touch me! Touch me harder!
Oh.
My God.
Oh, there's a character with no picture just called Girl. That's not
Girl?
helpful at all.
Oh, what was the fucking?
Oh, it's Mio, I believe, right? Is her name? I think.
Maybe?
Oh, I think that actually is right.
Yeah, she was Brittany Karbowski. She's
I don't
been in.
recognize the name.
She's been in a lot of stuff. She was in Fairy Tale. Oh, she's Rimuru. I just realized that.
That's it. I see. I knew I recognized it when I watched it recently. Yep.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, that's so
Oh.
silly.
And she's young Stark from Free Run.
Jesus.
But Rimuru, it's Rimuru. That's all you need to know.
Rimuru is Rabbit Girl. Okay.
I said jump.
That's great.
Wow.
I hope he has that quoted somewhere on his.
I just love the I love the ending of the Rabbit Girl episode though, where she's like, I've always cared about you. I know you wouldn't hurt me. And it immediately bites her. It's like, you bitch. Like,
and then with the freaking when the teacher comes out with the box of baby rabbits, she's just like, you son of a bitch, who's gonna take care of all these kids?
yeah. Or my favorite line: run, she's a ghost and a bitch.
She's a ghost and a bitch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a weird episode with like the weird Satanist girls in the class.
Yeah.
Yep.
They did doing the ritual, and all of a sudden she's just like, fuck me, Satan, fuck me, Satan, fuck me, Satan.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh god. Like, so many things in this are so unhinged.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
Oh yeah. So there, no offense to anyone going forward, but some of these you have to just preface it. I told you I'm going to be fine. Why are you still crying? The boy, because these pajamas are gay. Like, it's like so like out of left field.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
When a strong spirit appears, the weaker spirit cowers, but all evil spirits cower before Jesus. Oh man.
It's too much.
I think I told Bill this one before, but I think one of the ones that is so funny. It's like when they're going in the taxi. It's like in the mountains, and there's that road that's blocked off, and then he goes up to the sign, and then they didn't translate it into English; they left it in Japanese. And he goes, "Oh, it's
Yep.
Japanese," and then he just proceeds to do like the most racist, like pretend Japanese voice, and
Yeah.
then goes, "Oh wait, that's Chinese." It's
It's
just
a
like,
good thing I
oh
can
my
read
God.
Barricade.
That one was so fucked up, but so funny.
I love that one.
Fill the hole filler.
Yeah, I love that too.
At least he's not racist. Like what?
Yeah.
Just they always come like the lines are so like
You
If-
probably miss so many of them too, like that just go over your head, and then like
Well,
you have to
'cause you're-
rewind and go back.
your brain is still processing what you just heard, and then they drop another one, and you're like, I don't have I can't right now. Like, sir, please wait.
Well, how about the one where what was it, the mirror episode, I think it was?
Mhm.
Oh
With
yeah.
the mirrors. And like Leo comes home and his mom's playing a video game and she's like, come over here and rub my nipples.
It's like what?
Don't remember.
It's fucking
Oh.
bizarre.
There's also the episode where Leo gets stuck in the computer. And they
Oh, yep. Yomi.net.
Yep. That was such a bizarre episode.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's classic. You know, kids would stop talking to you if you get out more, kind of to geek yourself. Geeks run the world, but they're not getting their PPs waxed now, are they? What's the catch? Oh my god, there's stock in the toilet. And now I have fruit salad, chicken tenders, and tofu fries. Why would you eat there? Didn't you see Super Size Me? It's so funny when they reference Super Size Me, especially like after we learned that guy was a massive piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
man.
This is such a time capsule. And I
Well,
like
it really
yeah.
is.
This is like, I think one of the biggest things we can talk about is like they could never get away with anything like this nowadays.
Oh no.
Oh
Like,
no.
nothing like this would ever happen. And it's crazy to think that it did, but I guess like that just shows like, you know, for the shows that really snuck under the radar, they could really get away with a lot. of just
This one is great. Hello. Oh look, a different heathen. It's you. Get lost. Come on, let me see what happens on a girls' night. Mind your own business. Oh my, sounds like you bailed on me and switched to Rachel Ray. Love her. After a beat, she's fat. Like, just so deadpan.
I think one of my favorite ones of the religious girl was when she's like whispering to like the kid brother, and like she goes, "Hello, sinner," and then the main girl goes, "God, can you go bomb an abortion clinic or something?"
Oh, yeah, that was
Oh,
brutal.
God.
But then But then she goes, just you wait. When the wonderful president finished stacking the Supreme Court, we won't have to. And then whispers to the brother, don't forget what I told you about premarital sex. And then the kid goes, abstinence only. Got it. Like a 5-year-old knows what that means.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that line is, oh.
Oh, this one's incredibly racist.
Oh, God.
No offense to anyone, I'm quoting the line. A car accident, huh? Must have been hit by an old Chinese man. I'm not going to say the word.
No.
It says, don't be racist, but those people cannot drive. And I'm just like, I read that and I was like, what the hell?
Oh.
Yeah, well, basically, like if there's any ones that we're not mentioning here, just look up, just go on
look up
YouTube and look up
quotes.
ghost stories, and you will
Yes.
find like a 5-minute video with all the clips of things that we cannot say here.
Yeah. Or even just type in like quotes and you'll find a bunch on here. Like there are so many. So many. Oh, I like the line of I hear the sound of you shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm a 6th grader.
I love that, like in the first episode, after like their first adventure, they're like standing outside of the haunted schoolhouse, and then that one instructor walks over, the one that's like incredibly camp gay. It's not even funny. And I'm just like, wow, they weren't even being subtle with that one.
What are you
Oh.
kids still doing here? Go home, sillies.
Yeah, I'm like, God, they weren't even subtle. Like they were just. It was the mid 2000s. It was different time, but oh my.
I mean, to be fair, even Dragon Ball Z did that kind of gay voice.
True. The
I can confirm.
the very camp inflection to it.
Yeah. So, just because we didn't bring it up, how do you guys feel about the opening and ending?
I listened to them once, thought they were okay, and then skipped them every other time.
I'd listen to the ending occasionally. The ending,
It's so weird. It's so the first one is like weirdly catchy, like halfway through, but it's like catchy in the way that like Freckles is catchy.
Freckles though is like a
It
fun
stays
bop.
in your brain.
This one is
Yeah.
more kind of just like, okay, it's like I don't need to listen to that again because I was more interested in what unhinged shit was going to happen next.
And then the ending just has like this really weird vibe to it.
I know. I was vibing with it sometimes.
And then out of nowhere, it just goes sexy, sexy. like, what the fuck? This is a show about 5th graders.
See, I feel like they might have even heard the ending.
Are you sure?
All right.
I thought it was a show about something. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I don't think anyone knows. One thing I'll comment too, just with the music in general, is while I was listening to some of just the background music, I don't know why, but it was giving me Inuyasha vibes.
Same.
It sounded like Inuyasha background music. I'm glad it's not just me.
Might have been a similar composer.
I feel like maybe it was at the time, because even the animation, I mean, for the time, it was probably made around the same time as Inuyasha.
It's definitely not Sunrise, because Sunrise has a very distinct style, but it's definitely older. I think it's actually who did Ghost Stories. I must know.
I'm just really glad that someone else also was like, "This sounds like Inuyasha." Like,
you know what's really funny too is I was watching like whenever like the ending would go and I'd see like the credits and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was an Aniplex show of all things.
I think so, potentially.
yeah.
Believe it or not, it was Studio Perot that handled it.
That makes sense.
I love how the genre description is original, horror, supernatural, ADV English version, black comedy, horror comedy. And it's just like, yeah. Studio Perot though, that's interesting.
I'm like on so I just like Googled quotes, like dub quotes, and like there's people who just posted like screen caps from it, and there's so many that you just miss that are so out of pocket.
So the composer that did Ghost Stories was Karuwada, who also did Inuyasha. So
I knew it.
Makes sense.
You can always kind of like hear like the similar vibes when it's the same person.
Yep.
Different styles, you know.
Yeah,
I was definitely hearing some in there.
It's just such a. There's like so many things in this.
It's a wild ride.
This one's pretty good. Pretty good. Monsters only eat evil people like Republicans, and we're not old enough to vote.
I like don't remember this one. Verizon, like Jesus, it never stops working for you.
I
Like
remember
when
that
did
one.
they make
I
the
remember that one,
Verizon?
yeah.
I don't
I-
remember the Verizon joke.
Well, that was back when like everyone would always dump on Verizon for like being slow as
Oh,
fuck.
really? That was a
Yeah.
thing? I didn't
Well,
realize
that was back before like people realized all the phone companies are exactly the same. Like there's no real
Yeah.
difference. They used to always like there was always like the whole like phone company dumping on each other, and Verizon was like one of the most famous ones that got dumped on all the time, despite being
Yeah.
no different from any of the other ones.
There's multiple Verizon jokes now that I'm looking.
Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior? You have to say it like that.
My favorite is like after the freaking like when they run at the police station and he does the whole like, oh, drop the Krispy Kreme thing. It's just like
Yeah.
all of a sudden they both just drop all pretense and just start talking goody 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 goody.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like I keep going and I'm like, you can't say half of these.
no, yeah.
that-
Like
But like with how like stacked this show is with just like the outrageous jokes, it's like it has a lot of rewatchability for that because you miss so much.
yeah. Like I'm honestly tempted to do a rewatch this year just to like go back and be like, what? Like how did I miss this?
Like I just watched it like 4 months ago and I rewatched it throughout this week. I didn't watch the last 4 episodes. I was gonna watch them today, but I didn't have the time. But
I hate I just remembered what the connection to the well, at least he's not racist line was. And it's so bad. It's so bad.
yeah.
It's run like there's a big insert demographic of people chasing you.
Oh,
I know the line. I know
You
the
can
line.
you can fill in the blank there.
yep.
It's one of the more famous lines of the
Yeah.
And then I think because what happens is they say that then he doesn't run, and they're like, well, at least he's not racist.
My God.
Oh yeah, the great, it's Japanese. That one's awful. Like his cute laugh, his silly request, touch me. His reprimands, touch me harder.
I think it's funny. I'm on the wiki page, and it's funny reading. Like, I feel like they didn't write this correctly because the reception for the English dub was well written, but the animation was a bit. I'm like,
I mean-
we're watching the same show.
I mean, yeah, it's not. It's there isn't a plot. There's no plot to this show.
No.
Oh,
There really
this,
isn't.
this
Well
I forgot.
written.
I forgot about this one. The number you called is not in service. Hey, maybe if you pay the fucking phone bill, maybe.
So I feel like it might be actually good to just what was it? Does anyone actually know what the synopsis of the show actually was?
No.
What was the story?
Couldn't tell you.
Because it's just, I feel like that just shows how much it just went off the rails. None of us had any idea what was going on.
No, it's just Monster of the Week,
Yeah.
but with just a bunch of random jokes thrown in.
I forgot about. Here's another good one. Oh my god, you are the 4 ugliest fucking kids I've ever had the misfortune of laying my eyes upon. I can't wait for this bitch to kill you.
That was the cat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The cat.
Sometimes
Great.
yes means no, and sometimes you're a bitch. Like no one asked you. Just drive the bus driver.
Oh. At this point, the bullies will make him their bitch before noon.
Yeah, remember that? I was like, oh, these are 5th graders. Oh yeah, and the teacher refers to Setsuki as Slutsuki at one point.
Yeah. There's so many.
Oh,
It's-
dude, yeah, that one's bad. I
Oh
can't say that
god.
one.
It's just crazy to me like that it's still on Crunchyroll and you can still watch it readily available. Like I almost like wonder why they didn't like pull it or something. Just
Because people would riot. Because this
Yeah.
show is incredibly popular.
Well, I'm glad that it hasn't gotten to that point of like people just accept that it was made in a different time. We all agree that it's not socially acceptable anymore, but it is pretty fucking funny to go back and watch.
Oh
No,
yeah.
it's the fact that it happened is amazing.
Yeah, the whole like I loved reading like the whole mindset of like, all right, one person would come in and they'd basically set the plot for how it would go, and then the rest of them would just build off of whatever the main person said. So it makes me
Hmm.
wonder, like, okay, who started that joke? Like, who did this?
Well, ADV did not care back in the day. They would just do whatever. So like they probably because famously like ADV like also did Azumagadayo, and Azumagadayo was famous for they considered it undubbable because like it was very specific to Japanese humor and like culture, and
Yep.
then they basically just went and made up their own like story around the basic synopsis and made it work. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay, here's the synopsis. Ghost Stories follows Satsuki Mini, whatever, who moves with her family into the hometown of her deceased mother. On her first day of school, Satsuki and her brother Kichiro, this was not written well. Her brother Hajime, their neighbor, Momoko, an older schoolmate, and Leo, a classmate and friend of Hajime's with a penchant for the paranormal, visit the abandoned school building adjacent to the current school complex and discovered the building is haunted. So they stuck with it up to there for the most part.
Yep.
Um, it's soon after revealed that Satsuki's mother was responsible for sealing several ghosts who haunted not only the school but also the town, which are now being inadvertently released due to urbanization taking place in the surrounding area. Satsuki's mother.
I feel like that was also established. Like I remember them saying that and bringing up the mom a lot of times. So okay, so far so good. Where did it
Satsuki's
go wrong?
Satsuki's mother left behind a book detailing how to exorcise the ghost once and for all. In her first confrontation, Satsuki faces a demon called Aminajaku, but in the process, he is sealed within Satsuki's pet cat Kaya. Although Aminojaku does not want to help Satsuki at first, the danger soon threatens to envelop the town, and it's left up to Satsuki, her friends, and Aminojaku to stop the ghosts. With Aminojaku's help, the friends are finally able to exorcise the ghosts. So I guarantee you, they read that and just went, okay. And then they established that in episode 1 and
What?
2. And
And
then
then
they
said, whatever.
and then they looked at all the plots after that and went, we don't need this. We got it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Because they basically follow that, only a lot more sexual and unhinged.
Yes.
That's
Well, they're
definitely
moving.
a word for
Because
it.
because this explains that Amanajaku is forced to help them, and he ends up begrudgingly helping them. In the anime, in the dub, he doesn't really help them. He more just shits on them, and they end up figuring it out along the way.
Yeah, for the most part.
I wonder if you know how most of them have like a list of episodes? I wonder if if there's like a dub list and then just a regular list, because
Well, what's interesting is
they're both very
uh,
different plots.
the not the final episode, but the episode before the final episode is actually an OVA that they just shoved into the episode list.
Oh yeah.
Because if you can't talk. If you go on my Annie list or my anime list, it only lists the series as 19 episodes, despite there being 20 on all the platforms, because they just kind of stuck the OVA in there and called it a day.
Oh. So if episode 19 is actually an OVA, we could count Ghost Stories as two watches.
Yes.
You could. I
Technically,
did.
yes.
I didn't this time around just because I was like, yeah, that didn't, you know. But that's the glory of our list, is we can do whatever we want because there's no rules.
I'm following the way Alex did it last year, and I'm
Yes.
already at 25.
I'm at like 14.
Oh, you did? How did I do it last year? What do you mean?
You were
included-
counting like individual seasons, OVAs,
Oh,
and
like,
movies
split-
as different entries.
Well, yeah, I was counting whatever my Annie list was telling me was separate. That's why I was counting it.
Well, I don't
No, I
use
think I combined Ghost Stories.
use
Yeah.
any of those like tracking things. So
Yeah.
I was just saying I watched this show. That's one entry. That's how I did it last year.
Well, oh, are you trying to beat me this year? Are you trying to win?
I'm trying to win this year.
Non-competition? No. Well, now I'm gonna start watching. Well, I'm already through Dragon Ball Z, so I have plenty of time to watch more
Yeah,
garbage.
you guys have all already done your tasks. I'm the only one who hasn't yet. I'm still in the process.
Yeah, so hurry
Yeah,
up, Bill.
arguably you could set Z as 9 entries because it's 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, I'll just do it. I'll do it by what's like on Crunchyroll too.
If you watch all the movies, that's like 20 something entries right
Yeah,
there.
I'd count
I
those
could.
individually. You should
Oh yeah,
watch
I'll
some of
definitely
them.
count the movies. I'll watch some of the movies. I'll do that.
I'll tell you the
I'm
ones at
finishing
least
Super
that are
though.
yeah, fair enough. But I will give you a list of like the ones that are like must watch movies. Some of them are
Okay, good.
skippable.
Super
All right.
Android 13's a must watch just for his Texas accent.
Yeah, just for Chuck Hubert doing like a super hick accent.
That in that in my favorite line in the movie. It's only over when the fish drops. Now it's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ghost Stories. What an experience.
Would you recommend it to anyone else?
Yes.
I recommend it to everyone. I
Yeah.
told Thrak that should be his one anime that he watches all the way through.
It should.
It's
All right, Thrak, homework assignment. We're challenging you, all three of us. You have to watch Ghost Stories by the end of the year. The dub.
well, yeah, you don't. Who watched it subbed? I want to know. Who watched Ghost Stories subbed.
Well, if we don't specify it, Thrak may do it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Thrak's a dub guy, so. But
All right, that's his homework. Tell him he's been assigned.
that's
him
a real.
in the message when you post this on Discord.
That's a real question I want to know though. Is there any like hardcore sub person who's watched Ghost Stories subbed? Because I need to know. Like,
well, I don't know about that. Cindy has mentioned an interest of wanting to watch a sub just to see what it's like. I guarantee she'd watch the first episode and be like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, she'd be like, this is boring. There's
I
like
think
no.
I sent Bill the other day like a side-by-side clip of the police station episode where they're going to the police station. It has the regular sub versus the dub, and it's infinitely better with the dub.
Well, yeah, because the anime is boring otherwise. Like, it's just not
Yeah.
an interesting series.
I don't know. It just popped into my head. I just remembered the freaking when the mom was doing the ghost letter thing, and she was like talking about like all the different pictures. She's like, "Oh, your father, he did this stupid annoying thing where he like to cross his eyes in photos. See, look, he did it here. Son of a bitch."
Oh yeah, I forgot that the mom takes over Momoko every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super bizarre. It's because
Like-
she's in touch with the Holy Ghost, so you know.
Yeah.
Have you praised Jesus yet? Oh man. But yeah, Ghost Stories is a trip. It is
Yep.
a perfect time capsule. We didn't even cover half the shit that's in this show. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably couldn't, or we would.
No, there's no way
removed.
to cover most of this properly these days because oh boy.
I'm sure there's some podcasts we'd be able to get away with it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not mine. Or
But not
ours.
this one. Just not this one.
Not this one. Not today.
Oh man. Actually, that's really funny in hindsight. We all got homework, but Matt ended up getting 3 homeworks because he finished his homework in a day.
Well,
Well,
our
I felt bad
because
because
really
Odd Tax.
big.
Yeah, I felt bad because literally got through Odd Taxi in a day, which I did really like. I enjoyed
Yay!
that one. And then I
What
got
did
the
you
one
think
from
of the ending?
it. I don't want to say anything because Bill hasn't watched it, but
True.
threw me for a loop, and I
Good.
really liked it. And I want
Nice.
more, but I have no idea how they'd make it work.
I think there's a movie.
It's only subbed on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for a dub, but it might not be. But I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it was not what I was expecting it to be, but I loved every second of it.
Bill, you're next.
I'm watching
See,
it currently.
Well, no, Odd Taxi. You gotta watch
Oh.
that too.
I'll get
Well,
to it.
I mentioned to Bill, I threw out a suggestion for a future anime swap for you guys.
Oh yes.
So I'll let him bring that up to you, but I did mention Odd Taxi in there. So
Yes.
um,
What were your other assignments, Matt? I kind of cut you off because I was excited about Odd Taxi.
well afterwards Slade told me I should watch Freerun, which I did do.
Nice.
And I did enjoy it. It was very nice.
Yeah.
And Bill just gave me my assignment from him last week. Was it Konosuba?
No, it was Kimi ni Todoke.
Kimi ni Todoke.
Okay.
So-
Oh, that's like 3 seasons, right?
Yeah. So I feel like once I watch that, I'll be squared up with everybody.
I had 291. I feel like it's not fair.
I watched One Piece last year. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, you caught up?
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, see,
Well,
still
I haven't watched Egghead. I'm waiting for that to be finished. Then I'm just
Okay.
gonna go through it. But
That's gonna be
I've
a
watched
bit.
I've watched through Wano.
Okay, good.
And,
So
but
you
I have
sound
read
Gear-
I've
so you
read
sound Gear
Egghead.
5. You sound Gear
Yes.
5. Yay.
That was insane animation.
Yes.
Um,
and just wait till you get to Egghead because it's just as great.
I've read Egghead. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. No, I meant the animation. Like the animation
Oh,
is
I'm
just
sure.
as super fun.
Especially with like all the stuff with like the elder showing up and shit. Like
They haven't gotten to that yet. But even just
okay.
his
Well,
fight
that's gonna
with
be wild.
his fight with Lucy is really great.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Watch One Piece, Bill.
I don't have
Come
time for
on.
that. It took me long enough to watch like a 80-something, 90-something episode series. I'm not watching 1,000 episodes anytime soon.
What do
Yeah,
you mean?
no kidding.
Well, no, but you have to commit to watching the One Piece when that comes out.
Well, that'll be seasonal. He can handle that.
Exactly.
I also
That's-
find it very amusing that it's by the original Attack on Titan studio.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
perfectly okay with that because, I mean, you're getting a pretty good view of what they're capable of,
Yeah.
even though they hadn't like.
I don't know.
if you
That's
ever look into
CGI.
their-
That CGI Titan was pretty bad. I'm
The
not gonna
CGI
lie.
is not that great, but
if you
other
look
than that,
into
the
like
animation's
this,
good.
if you look into the story behind like their experience animating, like even just the first season of Attack on Titan, they like it's like this whole like big long story about how they just did not like have any preparation or like they really didn't like know what they were doing
Yeah.
pretty much. And I don't know how we got such a good product out of it. Like I wouldn't even be able to begin to get into the whole story behind it, but it's pretty wild. You should look into it.
I just find it amazing that Shonen Jump and Viz both passed on it.
Yeah.
right.
And it
Like-
became like probably one of the biggest shows ever.
It's probably the reason why Kandasha's manga is like why they really took off in the manga space, honestly.
I mean, to be fair, the art style is very different to the manga.
True.
Like it's almost like I don't want to like sell it short because it is good art, but it almost has like a pencil sketch kind of feel to it.
No, yeah. I would
Like,
almost
not-
relate it to like Dorohedoro, like that art as well. Like when you see the manga versus, I mean, they couldn't translate that perfectly to animation. There's just no
Mhm.
way with the,
Yeah.
and I feel like Attack on Titan is very similar.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we finally got Ghost Stories out of the way. One of the first of many retrospectives of different series we'll be doing this year. Dragon Ball will be coming up at some point, and eventually
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. That one's going to be an endeavor because we're getting an entire team for that one.
Mhm.
Because if we didn't invite Slade, he'd probably murder us. So
we just purposely invite everyone else besides Lee just to fuck with them. Just kidding.
And
no.
Thrak is just there randomly, even though he doesn't watch anime.
Yes.
Thrax here.
Wait, Thrax is dressed up as Slade. Just pretend.
No, Slade would kill us.
Yeah.
We'll just send him an Attack on Titan chair.
He already has one.
No, I was talking about Thrak.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We send him one of
It's
those.
part of his cosplay.
Yeah.
No, he'll kill us.
So Matt, we're gonna plan around this to actually get that to happen. Yes. All right.
Oh yeah.
Bypass Bill. Got it.
I should thanks, people.
I know where you live.
Me too.
I can hack your computer. Yeah, we can hack it.
Anyway, no one cares, Alex.
You. This isn't water bottle facts time.
Anyways, guys,
How dare you?
once again, thank you for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming and Collecting Podcast on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site. Check out a whole bunch of different shows, videos,
Forgot
blogs.
the www dot.
Who cares? No
We
one
don't
does
need to
anyone
do that anymore.
does anyone type that shit in anymore?
We could start it back up.
Make it a trend. But you can also find a lot of the
I'm
awesome
dying.
shows over on the site, like Superpod Saga, Super Ghost Radio, Retro Rehab, Tommy's Video Game Ride Along, A Novel Console, Bar Silence, Find Time, the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast, Remember 64, Gaming Together, Friday Night Gamecast, Gaming and Collecting, the 3DO Experience, Geek Addicts,
Woohoo!
the Retro Wildlands, Press B to Cancel, the Pre-Order Bonus Podcast, Retro Mo Reviews, and of course the newest show, because Tommy just can't stop. We have Tommy and Grant Go Podcasting. You know, me and Tharak made the perfect joke for Tommy in the server. We joked that he's now the Brett Favre of podcasting. He keeps retiring and unretiring.
I like
All right.
how me booing at our podcast didn't make you. For me going, woohoo! Yeah.
It just because I wasn't expecting it. I was like, what?
Expect the unexpected, Bill. That's what you should know about this podcast right now.
But anyways,
Wait, to end it, everyone quote your favorite line from Ghost
I
Stories.
can't.
yeah, right.
Everyone quote your appropriate favorite line or close enough appropriate.
Run! Shit's a ghost and a bitch.
Man,
Drop the Krispy Kreme paper coat. We need your help.
I said,
Death me, death me hot.
oh,
And on that note, once again, guys, we will see you all later.
I'm dying. Help. End it already. Bill.
I said jump.